Cheva Impala 1959. How about that nice back end? Let's go to Pomona and Grand National Roadster Show and hear the full story about this amazing car. Alltså nu ska vi tillbaks till Pomona och Grand National Roadster Show och träffa den som har byggt den här helt makalösa bilen. En Impala 59.
Yeah, I'm Troy Gudgel with BBT Fabrications. We're based out of Mahomet, Illinois. We're out here at the Grand National Roadster Show. We brought our 1959 Cheva Impala out.
And this is not the first show it's at. It actually were top nominee at SEMA, right?
Yeah, so it was, we debuted it at SEMA this year. We toured the car around first in bare metal, so we had it running and driving. Half the interior finished while the car was in bare metal. And then we went back and of course finished it, and we debuted it at SEMA this year. It was in the top 3 for hot rod category for Battle of the Builders. It also won the SEMA Design and Engineering Award, and it was a Best on RS chassis car as well. So pretty good success at SEMA.
I would say so. And also, I mean, it's very unique in the way, I mean, it's not just a custom 59. I mean, there's so much to it. So if you tell me about the recipe, starting with the chassis and going upwards.
Yeah, so it's just on a Roadster Shop Revo chassis, so full chassis front to back. We wanted to do that because we wanted to be able to drive the car. So the car's built to be driven. A lot of people look at it and think that it's just a show car, but that's not true. It's already got 500 miles on it, and it's built to be driven. So we went with the platform of the Roadster Shop chassis. We got the little shop manufacturing 16-inch 6-piston brakes. We've got a GM LT1 engine that we put a cam in. Nothing crazy, just a nice cruiser driver, makes about 550 horsepower. It's got a GM 8-speed transmission, and then a 9-inch rear end. So really built to be a driver, but then on the bottom side. But then on the top side, we kind of went over the top. So there's countless hours in body modifications. Nothing crazy. We didn't get too carried away. Just cleaned some things up. Extended the lower quarters down so they hang down even with the rockers, so that the fuel tank's not hanging down low. Built a whole rear valence. Built new rocker panels. Again, same deal, so that they come around and cover the chassis. Front valence. Both the front and rear bumpers were fabricated from scratch. But the real work on this car is in all the trim work. So, everybody kind of comes up and they look at the trim and they just, want to know about the chrome plating and whatnot. But there's just hundreds of hours in trim. So we've taken pieces that are 3 or 4 pieces and welded them together to make them one piece to get rid of seams. There's stuff that we've machined. The door trim, we have extended it on both ends to overlap the fender and the quarter, so that way when you look down the side of the car, you don't see the gap of the door through the trim. With the car being so dark and the trim being brighter, we didn't want to have like that dark line in the trim, so now when you get a back from a distance, that line disappears. Machined tail light bezels, machined headlight bezels. We moved the marker lights into the headlights. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on with the trim as you look at it. You can start spotting little differences, but nothing, we didn't want it to like take away from the car, so nothing super overpowering as well.
Because, I mean, isn't that, I was going to ask you, because when you weren't here, I walked around it, and first it was like, ooh, this is a sort of, restored classic on big wheels. And then I start to look at the details, and it's like, no, this is not right, and this is not right, but it's beautiful. You as a builder, do you appreciate that kind of point that first you think, oh, this is original or no, and then you have to look at the details to see how much you did? Or do you think that it's like, what? Don't you see that straight out of the box?
You nailed it, and that's what we wanted too. So 1959 Chevy Impala, probably one of the most beautiful cars that GM ever made.
Yeah.
Any car that ever made, 1 year only. So like, it's already a great looking car. So we just wanted to, focus on, the manufacturing issues that they had because of cost and budget, and refine that stuff. So we wanted to basically take a car that, GM designed and, maybe didn't have the budget to make all these parts in one piece and make the bumpers slimmer, but really retain that factory look, so that way if you really don't know a 59 Impala, you're not going to spot all the things that we did. We want the guy that's like wants to get into it. We don't want it to jump out at you. The more you look at it, the more you see type thing. So that's a compliment when you say something like that.
Thank you. Well, it's meant as the biggest compliment, but I also have to ask you about your client, because lots of car builder friends of mine, I mean, when they get really good clients, they say that's like the most important part, to be able to create something really unique, because it's about the work between the client and the builder, because you can't go out on a limb and then your client come back and say that's not good. How was it to work with this car? Did you go with every detail, or was it more of a back and forth kind of deal?
So Patty and Eugene are the owners of this car. Fantastic, and you're 100% right. You hit the nail on the head. It has to be a good working relationship. Everybody has to be on the same page. And I'll tell you what, they pushed me. I think I pushed them in certain directions, and they pushed me in certain directions. And it was a great collaboration between the shop, all the guys in the shop, and the owners of the car, because we were able to bounce ideas back and forth. And sometimes we'd have an idea and they'd rein it in this way, and we'd have, so it was a very compromising deal. They were very heavily involved, color choices, finishes, and that's exciting, because it's great when your client is on board with what you want to do. It makes it a lot easier, and the whole process is supposed to be fun, and it makes it fun when that happens and you're not butting heads. So yeah, can't say enough about them, and they're responsible for just as much of this as we are at the shop.
Okay, and what about you as a builder? Now that you gave birth to this fantastic car, is it like a sense of loss when it's done, or are you anxious to get started on the next project?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, it's always your baby, you look at it as it's your car just as much as it is their car. And I think that's a good thing, because that means that I'm going to take care of it, and we're going to, make sure it's clean, and you're going to be picky about everything. But then there's also that side of you that kind of just wants to, okay, it's time to, you're grown up now. It's like a kid, it's grown up. It's time to get out. You're always going to love it, but it's time to get it out of the house and move on. But yeah, there's that balance there for sure.
Any idea what your next project will be?
Yeah, we've got several in the works right now. Probably our next big one is a '66 Chevelle that we're getting close on all the metal fabrication on right now. We'll do the same as we did with this. We'll get the car running and driving in bare metal, get all the interior in it, tour it around a little bit, and then go back and blow it apart and finish it out. It was really successful doing it that way with this. I feel like we got a better car in the end, so we're going to do that again with this Chevelle.
So will I see that car at SEMA this year? Or?
We're hoping to bring that car to SEMA this year, running and driving in bare metal.
Okay.
So that's the goal.